There you go. I'm Thomas Garrison. For those who are new, been doing this for about 25 years, and I welcome all questions in these meetings. So, Bonnie, I'm going to start with you because I know you've got some questions, I think, about what to do next. I was thinking about you the other day, and I think that I should send you a short list, Bonnie, of what you need to do with buyer's journey, so you don't have to deal with all of the methods, because I think those are confusing you. Is that true or false?
I think it would be a good thing to send that out. Anything that's going to teach me something new is definitely worth it.
Well, I'm thinking of so that you know what it is for which you are responsible, rather than trying to think of, well, how do I get it into the site? How do I make the themes different? Don't worry about that. You just concentrate on making the pages.
Did you get my last email I sent it yesterday?
Oh, I ignored everybody yesterday. I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I ignored the world because I was too stressed, and I thought I need to get some work done. So
I sent
I just shut off everything and
I
worked.
sent you, I did 3 pages. One for the awareness, consideration, and purchase.
Yeah.
So I happened to be clear-headed at the time. So
That's,
that's why I was so prolific.
yep, I see them. 3 different stages. Got it. Okay. I'll go through that later and let you know. So what other questions does anybody have as far as buyer journey? We're going to talk about how to incorporate it with WordPress, but any questions before we get into that? Right, John, Brooke, where are you with the buyer's journey, Brooke?
I'm really familiar with buyer's journey. I've been in marketing for about 20 years. So I'm really familiar with it. I'm curious about how you build it out on the WordPress,
Yep. And
but the strategic,
you're probably curious as to what it has to do with anything as far as SEO and your website, right?
Hmm, I mean, I would love to hear your perspective on it. I probably have my own thoughts.
Well, the buyer's journey, in short, is everybody goes through the buyer's journey process for everything that you buy. And Google has just added that to the pages that they want you to apply to your website. And they're a group of 3. And by adding those pages, that provides quality information, if they're done properly, about a specific question or problem that somebody's having. So a search term. The buyer's journey pages are based on keyword terms, just like every other part of SEO. So you need to research the terms to see what people are searching, and then make pages that are like the example in this image I just put into chat. So you've got those 3 pages, and they come up, you target them for local searches. And like I said, make sure that you're targeting a keyword that people are searching. And when that comes up, they go to those pages, those buyer's journey pages. They can't get to your normal website. They only go to these pages. And I'm going to show you a basics of what I'm talking about with this site. Here's the main part of this website. And obviously it's got the menus and everything else. A buyer's journey page, and this one's not completed, just needs the logo up at the top. But this is one of 3. This is the 3rd page of the buyer's journey. So this will be the decision page. But if you go back here, what is UCASS? Not that any of you has a clue what this stuff is, but this is a buyer's journey page. It's all about that one subject to tell you what is UCAAS. And then you go to stage 2, the consideration about UCAAS. And then you read that and go on to the 3rd, which is your decision page. At which point you're ready to do whatever action the particular website wants you to take, which in this case, call this person, or you can request an appointment for a call back. So if you had a purchase, they would go, this page would be the page where they would purchase said product. Does that make sense? Well, does that make more sense to you? Why use it? Oh,
Yep.
he's here. We won't use it again because he's here. He'll get back because I was showing people his stuff.
I got you on the recording, and I will be sending out a invoice.
I see your invoice and raise you too.
Nice squirrel.
Yeah. So the idea behind the buyer's journey is that you've got these pages that need to be independent. And I'll show you that again because I may have gone over it quickly. You can see the difference between this page, normal page, got the menu at the top, everything, even the footer's got a place to be able to click on several things to get you back into the site. And of course, you can go to the home page or any place else that you want. But on the buyer's journey pages, oops, come here. You have no method, no menu, nothing to get to any of the pages. And that's what you have to do with all of your buyer's journey pages. In WordPress, it's a little difficult because you cannot have 2 themes active at the same time. Steve, you with me on that?
So do you mean two?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm
Sorry,
just wondering,
go ahead.
what about putting it on a subdomain? Just out of
Well,
curiosity, that was the thought I had.
well, I have to think about the value of that. A subdomain to the search engines is usually considered a different site.
True.
So
It would take away from the credibility of the main
that's,
site.
yes, that's the whole point. You're trying to get authority from the buyer journey pages to your website. Eventually, your other pages of your website will have the authority to start getting a good position as well. Buyer's journey pages will attain that usually within a couple of weeks. But it takes a while for your actual website to do that. But I would say that's not a good idea. Maury, do you have an opinion on that?
Just like what you said, a subdomain is treated like an entirely new domain.
Yeah.
So you're SEOing 2 domains instead of 1.
But putting just the buyer's journey pages on a subdomain, that's not going to give you the value to your main website.
Not as much as you put it on 1. The only way that would work is if you're using Google sites, because you have all the Google authority within a Google subdomain.
Right.
But on your
Like-
own domain, no, I wouldn't leave it. I would keep it all in one domain, under one main domain.
By Google Sites, do you mean the one that was attached to the Google Business profile? Because
No, that's long gone. Yeah.
I was going to say, those are gone.
No, you can get free Google sites, and then because it's just subdomain at google.com, right?
Okay.
So
Are
my,
you,
my saying is Google loves Google. So when you build inside Google and stack them, you can create a lot of authority and link juice. But that's another topic.
Steve, are you using an independent site or do you have an issue, an oddity with your site in particular that you don't want the pages on there?
I haven't actually started putting any of the buyer's journey pages onto the site.
But you're thinking about using a subdomain because it just sounded like it was a lot easier?
Just as you were talking, it just sort of came to me, hey, why not just use a subdomain to get around the fact that you can't have two themes?
Oh, that's why we're here today.
Okay,
Because
the thought hit me and I threw it out there.
you sort of can. You sort of can. And of course, I already have, well, let me go to the plugins. This is just a sample site. So whatever is going on here, we can just play with it, turn it upside down or whatever. I really don't care, but obviously Elementor needs to be updated before you upgrade. Yeah, well, if it breaks, it's a temporary site anyway. It's simple with WordPress to be able to do this. And yet I'm going to tell you some more about why WordPress can be a real pain. Once you install any page builder into WordPress, whatever pages are created with that page builder must also be edited with the same page builder. You can't install a second page builder and allow it to take over pages that were already created before you installed that page builder. Does that make sense to everybody?
Oh, yeah. Been there.
I take it you tried that and he went, oh, now what am I going to do? Brooke, Steve, and John already knows this part, but the point is, if you install Elementor, the free version, you can actually do that. So you go to the add plugins, do a search for Elementor. Let's see, it found it before I even got to it. Now, in my case, they already know that Elementor is installed, which I have it here. But you would see it right up in the top left where this Elementor custom skin is. That's different. That's not the, I was going to try to uninstall it and then reinstall it. But I'll just leave that for right now. When you see the plugin, you're going to just install it because it will have the install button, just like this one does for Jetpack. So Elementor will say install, and you install it. Any questions on how to install Elementor? Okay. So
Is it like any other plugin where it just, you
Yep.
install it and it does its thing? There's nothing
Yes.
particular about it.
you don't have to go through any setup or anything. It's there to do exactly what we're going to do because you probably already got a page builder. If you've set up your WordPress, maybe you haven't created pages yet, but you have a page builder that might have created a dummy page or something. So you need a second one, which is Elementor. And Elementor is the only one that I know of that does this. So now you're going to go get ready to make your pages. You can create new pages with Elementor. Remember, don't try to edit the ones that are created with something else. So when you go to a new page, your pages, add new page, and immediately edit it with Elementor. So don't pass go until you've done that. Get Elementor involved in this new page. Now, can everybody see my mouse down over in the far left corner where it says settings? Okay, click on settings. And now you've got page layout right here. Everybody see that? Click on the drop down and watch the page that's sitting here in the center that says Elementor 228. When I click on Elementor Canvas, it just strips everything. This is how you build your buyer's journey pages in WordPress. Now you just take it from here. What do you want on the page? You put your content, you put whatever you want. Do not add a menu. Do not add anything that allows people to get from this page to the main parts of your site. The only links in the buyer's journey pages are from one step to the next. And it's only one way. They don't come back. I'll show you this site over here again. We're on the buyer's journey page. You found this in their search engine. There's no way to do anything but move forward. If you see it, you allow people to get to your action page. But that's only going to be for a few people because most of them are still trying to read and get the information. The only thing they can do is go forward to the next stage. This kind of looks like Kevin.
What's that got to do with telecom?
Try to get
I can see a defamation suit coming.
Yeah, he's gonna go cry to his mom here in a minute.
I think somebody's had a little too much alcohol and liberty.
Too much stress makes me do those things. All right, so questions about adding Elementor and creating your page. That's where we are with WordPress today. Steve, Brooke, any questions on this part?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay,
Do you want to, Tom, just walk through that process again? You click on that lower left corner, the little gear icon.
Yep.
And it brings up a new menu, and
so you go to add new page,
okay,
edit with Elementor. Remember that part because you're going to see if you've got another page builder, it's going to say edit with Divi or edit with the Joe Blavis page builder, whatever it is.
yeah,
And you want to just focus on Elementor. You want Elementor to edit this new buyer's journey page. So now Elementor has taken over.
By the way, Tom, I see you want to mention something. This is the free version too.
Yes.
This doesn't cost anything.
Yes. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
This is a free version. You don't have to pay for this. And settings. And then page layout. Elementor canvas. Strip that page. And there you go. As simple as I made that look, there are a lot of people I know who fight to be able to figure out how to get WordPress to do this. This is the only way that I know of that you can do it. If you find a plugin that allows you to have multiple themes, do not use it. I trust I let you guys think about that long enough. I'm serious. I think there's only one, but you might find a second one. Either one of them are terrible. The one that you will find, even WordPress is talking about, but I know that they're talking about getting rid of it too. It's overly complicated. It does not work as intended. It's just a pain. This is a simple solution. In less than 5 minutes, you can have yourself set up and ready to go with Elementor. That other one, that plugin, when I tested it, I was reading the thing for an hour and I finally just said, no way. Nobody is going to use this. And it turns out that there's a lot of people who feel the same. Okay. Now, I'm sure you have more questions. True or false? Michael, sounds like you've been working on WordPress for buyer's journey pages, true?
a little bit. I've got a couple of customers that we're working in that direction. I think though with the Elementor, once we go into this cleared page,
Mm-hmm.
it retains all of the WordPress functions for mobile optimization and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, it's like any one of these pages. I can go into this page that we created. Who knows what's on it? Oh.
She's aware.
You can tell I have a sick personality. But you can do anything you want. I believe that's where you were talking. It's you can do anything you want to this page, which means you could add the menu to this page, but it's don't do that.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You just want it, you know, you can put whatever title you want on the thing, whatever images, whatever content, and then you're going to link to the consideration stage because that's the next one. And consideration links to the decision page. But you don't link back. Make sense? Don't want to upgrade, so we'll make this go away. What other questions? I know that we're devoid of a lot of people here today because there would be a lot more questions. But apparently they couldn't figure out how to get to the meeting.
Can you
So-
just jump back 1 second there, Thomas?
Yes, to which part, Steve?
Your previous page, where you're on the page with the lady who is very shocked.
Aware.
Yeah. Oh, she wasn't aware and she is now. So when you scroll to the bottom,
I didn't know that.
I feel that way sometimes. It says continue on with consideration stage. Obviously, you're going to say something different than that.
Yes.
But I'm dealing with my kid has got a slinger truck business that he started up, and I'm working on building up his SEO. We're doing Google ads at the moment. And that's where I've been looking at the buyer's journey pages.
Mm.
The one thing, no matter what I write, I go, okay, well, that might be enough information for the person to say, I want to buy or get me a quote or whatever. Because a lot of times either the, like a call just last week, the guy called and said, the guy went to the website, found him, pushed the button to call, ended up, the guy just says, I just need a truck here in the next hour or two. Can you do it? Well, if he was to jump through 3 pages of information, he wouldn't have done that. He'd have gone somewhere else. And that's where my concern becomes, yeah, but you were just saying not to do that.
Oh no, I'm saying this page is set up exactly right. This is an example of the right way to set up your buyer's journey pages.
Okay, I thought you said not to have any kind of a link.
It only goes to one page.
Only goes to the contact. Right,
because that's what this particular site owner wants you to do.
right.
So you can link, and you must link each of the 3 individual buyer's journey pages to the action page. If you look in chat, you're going to see that I put in the image that shows you.
I got that image from a meeting or 2 ago.
Yeah. And you can see that each of the 3 pages links to the action page. In this case, it's to the contact page. And then they link to each other, but don't link back. And there's no link from the action page to the buyer's journey pages. The idea is that you do not want anybody who is in your website to get to the buyer's journey pages. They are for Google and to come up for the new people who are searching something that is highly relevant to your site locally. They hit those pages and they are on your site, but they can't get to anything until they read what it was that they were searching. Maury, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to elaborate on that because to his question, when somebody types, and keywords are still important even with the buyer's journey, when somebody types something in Google that needs a truck in an hour, whatever he types is likely you're going to be keyworded to your action page anyway. because he's going to say, I need a truck in an hour. And if that's what you are trying to rank your landing page for, your action page, that's where he's going to land. Somebody that needs a truck in an hour is not going to type in what is trucking about.
No, but he would, I'm assuming, and I don't know this for a fact at this point.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that what he searched for was slinger services or slinger truck services,
Right.
and was just going to go down the list and phone whoever was able to get a truck there that quick. It just so happened that my kid was just finishing up a job and he could be there in 45 minutes just because they weren't very far apart, which is abnormal in that business. Usually it's a 2 or 3 day booking. But yeah.
But that's to my point. If somebody's typing in slinger truck services and you know that means they want it now, you would have that keyword attached to your landing page or your action page where they could contact you right away, not to your awareness page. So when they parachute into your website, this is where the keywords are so important, because you don't want buy now keywords on awareness pages and you don't want awareness keywords on action pages, because it's not lined up with the intent of the search. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but slinger truck service is what he offers. Like that's like saying a dentist or a physiotherapist near me or something like that. It's not get me a truck right now. but I do understand what you're saying. It's just
but that might be the keyword that you use to, or several keywords you use to SEO your action pages. Emergency slinger truck services, get me a truck services now. Those are all those keywords all have I want to buy now intent. So you'd want to use all those keywords linked to your action page, because they just want to pull their credit card out and buy, right? You wouldn't link them to an awareness and consideration page because they're way past that stage.
Yeah. In this particular case, the guy who was supposed to be delivering material canceled him 2 hours beforehand, and now he's in a panic because he had inspectors coming in or whatever. But now that you've mentioned that part, I see where you're going. I was thinking,
well, that's why the keywords are so important. You have to have the right keyword with the right intention on the right page.
Yeah.
For everybody, just like Maury was saying, the keyword terms are still extremely important. You need to do the research to find out what people are searching. And in this particular instance, what Steve is talking about is this guy's in a hurry. So make sure that the keyword terms that are highly relevant to that page are included on that page. So that contact page could very well come up if that guy was just searching sling trucks, whatever kind of term that he typed in. If that page has been doing its job with other terms, then it's going to come up for that term. Then he could have gone right there and said, oh, there's a phone number, so I'm going to call that guy. Does that make sense, Steve?
Yep. I wasn't thinking about the differentiating the keywords between the different pages. I was just thinking these are the ones that are going to rank for them. And it's like, I don't know how that part works.
No, you have to think of keyword terms. You're only thinking of, is it searched and is it relevant to the page I'm considering? Those are your two main things when you're looking at keyword terms. It's, derivation of that term, don't get into that just yet. Find some terms that people are searching. And local. If you are doing business as a national sales in every area, don't try to come up in a national search. You're going to be forever and it's going to be really expensive. Instead, local search is what the buyer's journeys are really designed to do their job. They're probably not going to do very well nationally. You can get a local, if you're targeting local searches, the chances of you coming up in 2 or 3 days are fairly good. But on the long end, maybe at most 3 weeks. If you're using standard, typical SEO tactics, you could be anywhere from 3 to 6 months waiting for any progress. And then you go back and say, well, I see that it landed here 6 months after you've been waiting, or 3 months after you've been waiting for anything to happen. It's way back here at page 100, but at least I know where it is. And now you have to start pushing it forward. Local searches, you don't have to deal with that. Local searches, when you target that, they're going to come up quick. Does that make sense, Steve?
Yep.
So are you saying if you service multiple areas that you should have a buyer's journey page, all three of them set up with the action page for each one of those areas on the same website?
Yep.
Okay, I missed that. Thank you.
No matter
As-
where your business is, if you are doing business nationally, you can target a business, or I mean, target a city that is 3,000 miles away from you. But targeting that 3,000 mile away city is faster to come up than trying to come up nationally. So if you come up in New Jersey, or you come up in San Antonio, or you come up in Los Angeles, you don't care. Look at those huge areas that you've just targeted, and people are already finding those buyer journey pages. Steve, go ahead.
So you're saying basically, like, for instance, you're somewhat familiar with our lay of our land. We're in Mission. He works basically from Merritt to Whistler, all across southern BC. So what I have to do a page for Merritt, a page for Chilliwack, a buyer's journey, all 3 pages.
Yep.
For Merritt, for Chilliwack, for Vancouver, for Richmond. You're nodding your head.
Yes, I would
That's
say
disappointing.
yes. No, it's not, because if you did that, let's say that you've got all these pages created and it took you 2 weeks to create them. And then you put them into the site and you've got all these sets of buyer's journey pages. In less than 3 weeks, those pages are going to come up if you did them correctly. So now you've got those pages up in those cities in 3-4 weeks at max.
I just don't know that I can write unique content for each one of those cities.
Now you're getting into the part where you're actually physically writing the content. Stopping my share so I can stare right in the camera and say, don't do that. You didn't even ask why.
Well, because you're going to want to cover that in a different meeting. I've heard you do that one before.
Well, it's not so much that, it's
too much in one show.
It's that, to put it quite frankly, for everybody who has ever written their own pages, they suck. I don't care who you are and how well you know your business. It's because you know your business so well, you assume a tremendous amount of information and start tippity-typing away going, oh, this is really good. And I know that they want to know this, and I know that they want to know that. And if you had somebody who doesn't know, but just a little bit about that business and read that, they'd go, what is this? What we think as the site owner is great information, to a user, to a visitor, to somebody looking for information, the pages suck. They're just terrible. Hence the reason for the buyer's journey pages. Google didn't say, create some other pages that tell people more information about the same information that you're already telling them in your main pages. That's of no value, because it doesn't answer questions that the people have. To understand this a bit more, when's the last time that you purchased something, Steve?
Online, you mean?
When's the last time you purchased anything? But it doesn't make any difference what it is.
I had to replace the filter on my on-demand hot water system.
Okay. And have you done that before?
Nope. This was yesterday's job.
So the first thing that you did was what? You went from just finishing my coffee to suddenly the water heater's
To stepping in a puddle in my basement.
yes, I was trying to make a nice way of saying the thing is bloody flooding your basement. Okay.
And took a picture of took the information off of the filter, opened up YouTube and said, how do I fix this?
Okay. So as soon as you got your feet wet, you were in the awareness stage, correct?
I was aware.
That is the awareness stage. I've got a problem. I need to fix it. That's the awareness stage, stage 1.
Thomas, that's what they call a trigger event that starts the journey. You stepping in that water was your trigger to go, oh, I need to do something.
Yep. I got a
It
problem.
got my attention.
I got a problem. I got to fix it. That's the awareness stage. So you had your trigger by walking on water. I mean, walking through the water.
Call me Moses.
So that is the way that you do. That is how we all do stuff. And then you went to the next stage, which is the consideration stage. Okay, I've got the information on the filter. Now what do I do with it? And so now you're looking at more information to help you understand, here's how you replace it, and here's what you do. Did you find from that video the precise filter that you need, or do you know that the one that you're looking at is still the current one that's best for that water heater?
Yeah, there's only really one kind that fits the Navion system. And years ago, I used to be a partner in a plumbing company. I am not a plumber. I am forever trying to push water uphill without a pump. It doesn't work. But I understood. I knew where to go to get the pieces. It was a matter of how to do it.
So you went through the stages.
Yep, quickly.
And then you went to a video. Now, if we could all have a video talking to people about what our site is about, that would work great. I am not suggesting that for anybody's website, because I'm tell you right now, if you've got a website, a WordPress website, that's the kiss of death to put a video on the page, because nobody can, mobile users can't get in. It can take 30 seconds just for the page to load. So you're looking for, sorry, go ahead, Bonnie.
So you don't recommend putting pictures and images and other stuff on the page?
On the buyer's journey pages?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. I did that with His Highness's page.
Poor Kevin.
So these have pages. You can make it look however you wish. I don't need to get his logo up at the top. Other than that, you make it look like whatever you want it to look like. Just don't include any links other than the ones that I've specified.
Or a video.
Next page, or go call now. But on the first 2 pages on awareness and consideration, it's a small call now. And if you watch, see, it's still small. Now, when I get to the decision page, well, that's what I want you to do. So just do this.
Like, not everybody goes through every one of the stages. Like in Steve's case, he had a trigger and awareness. I need a filter. But because of his background, he jumped straight to buying because he already understood the awareness part. So not everyone goes through every stage absolute, right? Some people will skip a stage.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some people, have a pretty good idea of whatever it was that broke. Oh yeah, I knew that was going because whatever. So I've been watching it.
Because the water was dripping from
It's a pretty big clue. I have a problem.
So the thing that I'm getting to is you've got these pages and you go through the awareness stages, but you want good information. If we write it ourselves, you're going to see too much of buy this, contact me right now, do this, do that. We push too hard when we write our own content to get people to do what we want them to do. In our minds, they should already know this stuff. No, they don't know anything. They're trying to understand it. You're going to have to help them to understand it. That's where buyer's journey pages really start to shine. So Brian, ultimately, you're not going to write your own buyer's journey pages. Does that make sense, Steve?
Yeah, I plan to use AI to help with the writing. And I have noticed, because I have done some stuff already, using Gemini, using Perplexity is one that I found that I'm kind of liking, because as you start typing away, it starts giving you other ideas and suggestions as to where to go. And it handles things a lot differently than what I would be writing.
Yes, that's the idea. It writes much better than I could, or you could, or anybody else could. I've got a ton of things in here.
This isn't on yours. This is not on your site.
This is in yeah, stuff that I've been doing. Here is just talking about logo, but I was trying to see, I used AI for a lot more than normal, but there's how many stages of the buyer's journey? You can ask it that, and it comes up with, well, if you were to try to reiterate what the buyer journey is in the 3 stages, you'd probably say it a lot differently than AI, which can do it more concisely and more short than what I would come up with.
And in way
That's
fewer
what you're looking
hours.
for. Sorry, what?
And in way fewer hours.
Yes. Even with this one, this is the showing images. Trying to find one that is more to what you guys would be doing. This is a particular part that Kevin was doing as far as the VoIP costs. That's something he wanted to know. So you can generate this page in as little as 3 or 4 seconds after you hit enter. But the idea is you're going to do all this stuff with AI. Now, there's a huge part of AI that people miss. And Steve, correct me if I'm wrong, but you got in and you just started asking it questions, right? Or told it to do.
Yeah, I kind of laid
whatever.
out what I was looking for, like in about 3 sentences, depending on what I was doing. And then as it was coming along, I would just add more to it, add more questions to it. But if you just start out with a question in the beginning, you're not going to get from what I've seen, I don't get a proper, what could be a page.
What's the, give me the subject.
Well, go to Slinger Trucks.
Okay, hold on. I gotta get my AI in gear. It's a lot slower than Gemini.
Is that your AI or your ASS?
Sling trucks, right?
Yeah, Slinger.
Oh, Slinger. Now, what did I just do here? Steve?
Consider Slinger trucks. Okay, you're doing that. Okay,
What in your words, what did I just do?
you basically just asked it to consider what they are. So now you're doing the consideration page.
No, I am actually asking it to consider the subject. I am warming up AI. You were right in what you were saying. And for everybody else, I want them to understand there's a right and a wrong way to get AI to perform at its best. You found that by asking a bunch of questions. You want to make sure that you're taking AI to dinner and a movie. You got to make sure that AI knows the subject that you're talking about. Take it through some things. Even I didn't like that. What I've asked it to do is just give me some basic people who are looking for information on Slinger trucks. Now, I haven't read it yet, but sometimes Gemini has a good sense of humor, so they'll put humor into these personas. But the reason that I'm doing this is, and I think, Steve, you can look at this and go, oh, that's pulling up some really good information. Yes or no?
Yep. And I like the fact that Mike is a weekend warrior.
I told you. The idea is that the 5 personas that I asked it to create, what you're getting out of it is, okay, these are considerations that you might not have considered. You're looking at this going, oh, that makes sense. So I might think of this search term or that search term for that kind of person. And now I'm looking at a DIY landscaper. Revamping his backyard, needs to move a large amount of dirt. How would you target that person? If you own Slinger trucks or a Slinger truck and you're looking for that kind of person, now, in fact, you could go the other way. Maybe I haven't considered the DIY landscaper for my Slinger truck business. You see how that works, Steve?
Yep.
So you're getting information without asking it to actually do anything other than considering, creating personas. And you can continue this on for maybe 4 or 5 other terms that you want to put in there. But the idea is that you're getting AI to provide a tremendous amount of information about Slinger trucks before you tell it to write the articles, tell it to write the buyer's journey articles. And Bonnie, you had a question?
Yeah, if I want to add images to already done buyer journey pages, can I put them in separately? Or do I have to go back to AI and say, do the whole thing plus do images? How would I do that?
No, you just put your images, you find whatever images that you want, and you put them in as you would be editing a page, just like this.
Okay.
You may not want to use their images because you don't know what the copyrights are on those.
Well, if AI, usually they don't normally use pictures that are already created. AI, you tell it to create an image, which is exactly what both of these images are. even though this looks like what's his face, it was AI generated. So, okay. AI made it look like that. And this is who knows who with the big wide eyes. But I have taken a lot to go to AI to generate images today instead of going through the painstaking effort to find an image that is not copyrighted or have watermarks on it. So AI is shining that way too. And of course, Gemini has taken the last couple of weeks off of creating images. I don't know if Maury has found that or not, but every time that I've tried to get it to create an image, it'll do cartoon sort of stuff, but it won't do caricatures, or doesn't actually like to create any images sometimes. Just goes, sorry, can't do it right now. But the point is, creating images with AI keeps you from ever having to worry about copyright. So there we go. Any other questions?
I say it was a very informative session.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. When I get the regulars to come back and go, I just learned some more stuff. Great.
Well, and I think everybody in my business uses AI to some degree, and we have our own little
Yes.
likes and dislikes.
Yep.
But not everybody uses it the same way. And what you just pointed out is what most people are not doing.
Yes.
They're not letting AI explode itself, so to speak.
Yes.
They're getting very concise on their questions. Like how many
Yes.
pages should I have on my website? Well, that depends.
Yeah. And AI will come back with, well,
Oh, it'll give you a number.
I
Yeah.
don't know. What are you writing about? But that's really the whole thing with AI. You've got to let it know, what are we talking about here? So don't just give it a cursory warm up of, just think about this. Okay, now write these pages. I would say that sometimes it might be a good idea to just spend 15, 20 minutes warming up, play with AI, make it happy. It doesn't get enough attention.
Yeah. Get into it every day. 10 minutes. Do it like your social media,
Oh,
a little bit every
I would
day.
never touch it. Okay. Well, thanks for coming, everyone.